from some mystery secret location that few people would recognise. This is Tell It Someone. First question is from Wombat and Charlene. Is Australia copper wire NBN really a ginger conspiracy? Yes. Well, you know, we had this problem with the carrier pigeons. It's very hard to watch YouTube via carrier pigeons, so we put in a copper wire, and then we found out that the pigeons only land on the copper wire, and it really stuffs up the thing. So we're gonna, I want to get the glass fibre. I want to get the glass fibre. It cuts the pigeon's feet, which makes the pigeon slower, which makes the copper wire faster, and that's a really good plan if I want to hurt some pigeons, which I do. Next question seems to come from Canadian Atheist. Why do we park on driveways and drive on parkways? Well, since you're Canadian, I wouldn't really know, because I'm not Canadian. I don't know many Canadian. I know that they like politeness and hockey and poutine, but I don't know much else. And driving on the wrong side of the road. And I don't know what a parkway is, really. I really don't. So, Canadian Atheist asks the next question for the day. Why do we drive on parkways and drive on parkways? Well, try that again. Canadian Atheist asks the next question. Why do we park on driveways and drive on parkways? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what a parkway is. Because you're Canadian, I would assume it's one of those Canadian things like politeness and ice hockey and poutine and driving on the wrong side of the road. But if you're in Australia, don't park on my driveway, because if I can't park on my driveway, nobody can, and I don't have a car. So that makes the things a lot easier. Nobody parks on my driveway. But the parkway, I don't know. See, I've got to park its way over there, and nobody's parking there. Nobody's driving there. So I can't help you with that one. I am so very sorry. Master Q asks the next question for the day. My cat is licking me, but I think she is actually tasting me. Is she plotting to kill and then eat me? No, well, no. You are bigger than the cat, and therefore probably not going to eat you. Unfortunately, that means that all of the other prey, you know what happens to the other prey of the cat. It is half alive and dumped on your bed. So that's what's going to happen to you. I know this because it's happened to me. I've been, I woke up in bed and the cat was on top of me, and I really did feel half dead. I had been drinking heavily the night before, though. Robert Bow asks the next question for the day. Ever since a slip of my finger changed my question from what is the meaning of life into what is the meaning of life, I've been hesitant to ask the big questions. Now that autocorrect technology has become far more advanced and I am overcoming my fear of typos enough to ask another question that has been mystifying mankind since we began to discover how tiny we were in the big scheme. Are we alone in the universe? Yes, well, since we are, aloe is used to help with burns, and we are in one of the exact right places in the universe for life that doesn't burn up and doesn't get too cold. So, because we are both the right temperature and alive, we could be considered to be aloe in the universe, but it is a bit of a stretch, and so no. No, we are not aloe, we are more of a pomegranate, for some reason that I don't know. The gingerhead man asks the next question. What is the square root of pumpkin pie? Well, it's more of a cube root. It's diced sweet potato. The brig asks the next question. How old are you? I'm this old. This old. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Empirical Mind asks, I wonder if Donald Trump tastes like bacon. That's not a question, but I wouldn't actually want to know, because that would mean licking him in some way. Ask what's his name's cat, or any number of Russian prostitutes. But you know, yeah, you don't want them wetting themselves. Ask Melania. I mean, actually. Joe Freddy asked the next question, which is, are the Ducks ready to implement the next stage of their plan, and have they kept you in the loop, or have you lost their trust? Well, there's only 2, possibly 3 left, so I don't think I have their trust at the moment. They have been milling around, both of them, and they've been discussing things with cats. The 2 cats are also there. And there's a white pigeon who's pretending to be a duck, so that also complicates things, because I don't know what the pigeon's got in store for me. I only know that it involves me feeding a whole lot more grain to it. So, in other words, I have no idea. I would like to interrupt the, I would like to interrupt this video by asking a quick question. This statue is called the Boxers. Now, what is missing on this statue? Empirical Mind asks the next question. Can you suggest one thing that we should all try before we fall off the perch? I think the essential part of that would be actually getting on some kind of perch. Whether it is like a small perch or a large perch, or some sort of ledge device. Any kind of perch will do before you fall off the perch. I mean, you have to get somewhere before you go downwards again. What goes up must come down, unless you're already there and you've been on the same perch the whole life. And then, you know, that's pretty wasted, unless it's got a pretty good view. This has got a pretty good view right here. Lot of buildings and stuff. Kiskinja asks the next question. Какое пиво ты посоветуешь? I prefer cider. I prefer the tangy sweet taste of cider over beer, and I haven't drunken Russian beer, and there are reasons why you can't get it in Australia. Reasons. Long, disturbing reasons that I don't know anything about. David Pope asks the next question. Exactly how many things in Australia are trying to actually kill you? And is that easier to do because everything is upside down? Well, not everything is trying to kill me. I mean, that pigeon is looking at me somewhat strangely, but you know, I don't have any bread for it. That's the reason. But apart from that, nothing is actually trying to kill me right now, unless I actually go swimming or step 5 meters over there. Nothing's going to kill me. And Jonathan Stern asks the last question for the day. With a nuclear war basically being a certainty, will you become the de facto PM of Australia? If so, will your regime provide free leather and hockey pads? Well, yeah, that constitutionally that is the plan. Except there won't be any prime minister because you know, Abbott kind of you know, put a dampener on the honorific of that title. So I have to take the term Lord Humongous for that particular role of post-war Prime Minister. And as Lord Humongous, I would get together with Auntie Entity and Master Blaster, and as a triumvirate, we would, you know, do many things. We wouldn't have any hockey pads because we don't have hockey in Australia. We have hockey, but it's not. We don't strap blades on our feet to play hockey. Because you know, grass. It's very hard to use ice skates on grass, and we don't have ice because of, you know, the nuclear summer, which, you know, created the Man Bags franchise, you know, which is what will happen post-war. The battery meter says that I have to end now. So if you would like to ask me a question, then ask me a question down there. Or if you need to answer a dovetail question, here it is before my battery runs out. And I'm dangerously talented. I don't have a cool sign-off. I'll just talk till the battery runs out, because I was going to say a bunch of stuff about Mad Max.